Okay, we're in the hall closet. This is where the electric load center is. Breaker box, service panel, call it what you will. This is a 100 amp Fed pack, Federal Pacific. The Texas Real Estate Commission code for that matter. So, nobody says that I should condemn an electric service panel based on its manufacturer. That said, Federal Pacific is probably the most unpopular electric service panel that there is around. And there's a lot of them, as they're very common. But they've been associated with having fires and deaths related to fires, and they have a very, very bad reputation. I have some information baked into the inspection report. I know some of my acquaintances have had bad events attributed to Federal Pacific breaker boxes, including a close neighbor friend and the neighbor across the street. This is not as close of a friend, but all the same. This panel is 100 amps, and that's the minimum allowed for a residential structure according to code. I believe Dallas now requires 150. I know that Farmers Branch does. So this might not meet current, you know, standards. Also, the labeling here where it says circuit directory, that's handwriting. It's supposed to be printed, not handwritten. And it's supposed to be accurate, which it's not. When we get up in here, we shouldn't have a gap around the panel, around the panel cabinet, larger than 1/8 of an inch. Obviously, this is more than 1/8 of an inch. That compromises the fire blocking. So our gap is too large. We shouldn't have white hots coming in. Now, if you don't know that's hot, you don't belong in this, box. I get that, but the white hot should be wrapped with black tape. Also, what we have here is I'm seeing and expect a single ground. Today's standards we would require 2. We got white hots. Now see how that one's white and this one's black, and it's both of those are 40 amps. Well, I'm assuming that it's an assumption, but I'm assuming that's a 240 volt circuit. That's why the colors and the matches are like they are, and we do not have a trip tie. So the trip tie right here on this 50 amp. And because this is 40 and 50, and those are the only 220, 240 circuits that I'm seeing in this cabinet, it means one of them goes to the air conditioning condensing unit, and both of those circuits are too large for the air conditioning condensing cabinet. The wires should not be bent in a radius tighter than 7 inches, and also the wires should not be in touch with the cabinet cover. I think we've just about avoided that. But man, this box is crowded. See that screw hole? See that wire? Okay. We don't need that. So, and it's copper to copper, but it's going to be, I can't condemn it for being a Federal Pacific, but I'm going to say this because of its popularity. Some home inspectors wouldn't have even opened this up. They'd just run out calling 911. It's going to be easier for my client to buy this load center breaker box. It's going to be easier for my client to buy this electric service panel than it is going to be for my client to sell it. Okay, this is going to be your Achilles heel. My client might buy this, be happy with it, live with it, but it's not just your home, it's your home investment. And so when that time comes, all these things that I've been talking about are going to come back up. They're not going away. Also, let's see the cable coming in here. Okay, it should have a connector on it, and it doesn't. So we have one unprotected connector as well. So that's what we learned.